Hello and welcome to Drift 21. In this video I will be reviewing Drift 21, so let's get into it. First off, what is it like to drive? It's strange really. It depends on if you use a wheel or controller. Even though it has wheel support for the Fanatec, Thrustmaster and Logitech, it means you can use them, but it doesn't mean you should. Force feedback is a bit of a joke really. By default they made the steering really heavy and it doesn't auto center, so it makes it much harder to correct a slide because you're not able to just flick it to the other side. Also, it doesn't have the full support for the full 900 degrees of rotation, which makes the steering really slow to respond even if you have force feedback off. I was able to quicken up the steering slightly by limiting the degrees of rotation, but it was still pretty horrible and didn't really work very well. This would be okay if you could actually change the steering in the game, like change it to a different steering rack, have a quicker steering rack, but it's just not there at the minute, which is a problem. On controller it was slightly better just because, well, you've got a lot less motion to go, but then it still has a really sensitive throttle which makes it much harder on a controller. In terms of physics, it doesn't get any better. The car has no side bite, which makes it feel like you're driving on soap and the car just washes out mid-drift. Usually you can get the car to turn in fine, but after that it just goes downhill. Even the developer couldn't drift when they were showcasing it on the Steam store. Then you only have to look at the Steam page and see they've only got one GIF of actual drifting and they missed the corner anyway. Moving on to the sound of the car, it's strange again. The tyre squeal is clearly just the default one that came with the game engine. It's strange that they wouldn't put any time into it. The sound of the cars isn't really any better. You'll get the generic cars noise. Even when you upgrade the MX-5 to the i6 engine, it sounds better, but considering you've still got the stock exhaust and mufflers and cats, it sounds too good to be true. The main menu music is pretty decent though. Graphics are decent though. The tracks in the cars and the garage looks good, but it's just unoptimised. When I played it, you can only select from low, medium and high, and on my PC I've got a 970 and a 4770K. So, you know, they're not the best, but it could only run it on low with no AA to get 60 FPS. The others just became a juttery motion blur mess. Hopefully this can be improved. A 970 minimum, that's a bit high to be fair. And also the dashboard lets the game down. Looking inside the car, everything looks pretty good, apart from that dashboard. It's a shame to see that. So then, what can you do in the game? There's three modes. You got free play, where you can drift your heart to consent, solo run, and time attack. Solo run, you just get one shot to do a lap, trying to get the best score, and time attack is just how fast can you do the course, with only a tiny bit of drifting needed. It's just basically all about time. There's nothing special about these modes, they're just a bit pretty generic. With there being over 700 parts in the game, it does allow you to feel for a lot of customization, but a lot of the parts are easy things like gear knobs and steering wheels, where they just copy and paste the model and just add a different skin to it. I like the builder aspect to it, you know, because there's lots of parts, you can customise your car to your heart's content. It does feel a bit like Car Mechanic Simulator and a little bit mix of My Summer Car. It has a good balance in it, so you know, because in My Summer Car it's quite hard if you don't know what you're doing, if you don't have like a guide of how to follow it. So it's good that they've made the game accessible to everyone. I like that the details have added, so you can like change your tyres yourself. You can pull them off the car, put it on the machine where it gets the rubber off, don't know what it's called, and like you can change your tyres, buy new tyres and add them like that. It's pretty cool. I like that. You can even align the wheels yourself. I haven't tried that to be fair, but it's a pretty cool thing. I like the little touches that they've added. Although they've missed sort of like big parts of things you can change, like changing the pressure of your tyre. I mean, it's a simple thing, it's a driving game after all. They have three 3D laser scan tracks, which to be honest, if they weren't real tracks, I wouldn't have noticed. Even if they were like user created. Around the edge they just have some weird foliage. Doesn't look particularly great. I'm sure a lot of time and money was put into these tracks, but it could have been put somewhere else as they've got bigger issues. I wouldn't have minded if they'd given me a Tesco parking lot if they'd fixed the physics. What I'd like to see in the future, more of everything pretty much. More parts to customise, more parts to add performance, sort of like have the car the way you want it. More cars, sort of to choose which cars you want, you know, the classic drift cars. You've got sort of like your Nissan 250, 240Zs, and then you got your sort of like your old Beamers. It'd be pretty cool to see them. I'd also add to like more depth to the game, so like you better tuning of your car. So maybe it's a bit of a long shot, but maybe like being able to tune your own ECU. I think that'd be like pretty cool, because now you could change so like when you get your pops and bangs. I can just imagine having like car meets online. It'd be pretty cool, to be fair. Also maybe add in damage. I mean, it would make it a bit more interesting that when you crash your car, you know, you've got to fix it yourself. You know, taking the bumper off, looking at the radiator, maybe new axle, aligning your wheels again. That'd be good fun. I mean, I'm sure it'd get boring after a while, but you'd just crash less. Progressing through the game like a career mode, with maybe AI competitors, earning money as you go, sort of different tracks, different scenarios, just sort of try to add a bit of variety to the game. So then you can sort of like start from the bottom, make your way up from like the MX-5 and then add up and go up to like a crazy 700 horsepower drift car, you know. That'd be a lot of fun. They have promised a multiplayer, which is good. It's good to see, but to be fair, it's a long way off from getting a multiplayer. It's got a lot more problems than not having multiplayer at the minute. Once they got them fixed, multiplayer would be a lot of fun. One thing I'd like to see is having like drifting challenges. Like, have you seen Hyperdrive on Netflix, where they have like a crazy course? It'd be so cool to actually do that in the game. It'd make it a lot more fun, especially just being compared like, on points. Like, that's not very fun. Is it worth the price? No, not right now. The game has huge potential, just like literally huge potential. It could be awesome, but at the minute there's so many fundal things that needs to be fixed. Physics are the main issue. It just makes it not fun to drive. No amount of building the car is going to make it fun. If I want to do that, I'll just do My Summer Car or Car Mechanic Simulator, you know. Basically, it's just I'm not a good version of them at the minute. I'd much just prefer to go on like Live for Speed for drifting, really. The game just feels a bit like Wreckfest. When it came out in early access, it had 2 cars, very little way to tune them, but people didn't mind because it had a huge selling point, like the crazy damage model. Being able to crumple your car into a cube just for fun. I think I just spent a couple hours in the tech demo just messing about because it was that fun. And like, it was kind of unique in the way that it was just sort of like a demolition derby game. Apart from like Dirt Showdown, I can't think of many other games I'd like that. This game doesn't really have many things to redeem. The game to be good, it's going to have to be at least a year, if not 2. So no, it's not worth the £20 price tag. Thank you very much for watching this one. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like down below. If you want to see more, hit subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. See ya!